Have you ever felt like you're trapped in a cycle, living the same day on repeat? You're not alone. We've all been there, feeling like life is on autopilot. But here's a game-changing thought. The only limit to our progress is the fear of taking the next step. Powerful, isn't it? This idea is more than just hope. It's a call to action, reminding us that each day holds infinite potential. Today, we're diving into the world of self-improvement and personal growth. We're not just sharing tips and tricks. We're delving into an ancient philosophy that has transformed lives for centuries. Stoicism. You could learn these lessons on your own, in let's say 60 years. But I can also teach them to you in just 30 minutes. This journey is about more than just learning. It's about transforming your daily struggles into powerful building blocks for success. Let me share a quick personal story. There was a time in my life when I felt completely stuck. Every day felt like a copy of the last, and I couldn't see a way out. Then I discovered Stoicism. By applying its principles, I started to see my challenges as opportunities for growth. I built an iron mind that could face adversity with resilience, embraced virtue ethics to live with integrity, and developed deep self-awareness that unlocked my true potential. This philosophy changed my life, and it can change yours too. After we have discussed the most important Stoic teachings, I will show you exactly how to apply them in your daily life. Are you ready? Make sure to watch the whole video without skipping, because every moment of this journey could be the one that transforms your life. The Stoic key to inner freedom. One of the central teachings of Stoicism is the dichotomy of control. This profound concept, popularized by Epictetus, a former slave-turned-philosopher, teaches us to distinguish between what is within our control and what is not. Let that sink in for a moment. A man who endured the harshest of conditions found a way to master his mind and his fate through this powerful idea. What exactly is within our control? Our thoughts, our actions, and our reactions. These are our domains. Think about it. Your mind is a fortress. It's the one place where you have absolute sovereignty. No one can invade it unless you allow them. Now, what lies outside our control? Everything else. External events, other people's actions and outcomes. This is the chaos of the world around us. By focusing on what we can control and accepting what we cannot, we liberate ourselves from unnecessary suffering. This is more than just a mental trick. It's a radical shift in how we interact with the world. Imagine the immense peace of mind that comes from releasing the need to control the uncontrollable. The stress, the anxiety, the constant worry, they all melt away. Picture yourself in a storm. The winds howl, the rain pours, and you're standing in the midst of it. You have two choices. You can either fight the storm, trying to push back against every gust of wind and drop of rain, or you can accept that the storm is beyond your control. Instead, you focus on what you can do, finding shelter, keeping yourself warm, protecting those around you. The storm rages on, but you are calm, composed, in control of your actions and reactions. This simple yet powerful shift in perspective can transform our lives. It's about embracing the serenity of knowing our limits and the power of our inner domain. Seneca himself said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." By obsessing over things beyond our control, we create a mental prison. But by focusing on our thoughts, actions, and reactions, we unlock the door to true freedom. Dive deeper with me. Imagine facing a personal crisis, loss of a job, a relationship ending, a significant failure. The initial reaction might be panic, despair, or anger. But as a Stoic, you pause. You take a breath. You ask yourself, what is within my control? Your thoughts, choosing to see this as an opportunity for growth. Your actions, taking steps to improve your situation, to learn, to adapt. Your reactions, remaining calm, resilient, steadfast. This isn't about passivity or surrendering to fate. It's about active engagement with life, rooted in wisdom. It's about knowing where to invest your energy for the greatest impact. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the impermanence of life and the vastness of the universe. He reminded himself that our worries are but tiny ripples in the grand ocean of existence. Let's throw another truth bomb. He who fears death will never do anything worthy of a living man. This quote from Seneca urges us to face our deepest fears head-on. What if you embrace the idea that death, failure, and loss are natural parts of life? How would that change your approach to daily challenges? Consider the story of James Stockdale, a U.S. Navy pilot who was shot down during the Vietnam War and held as a prisoner of war for over 7 years. He survived the unimaginable by applying Stoic principles. Stockdale focused on what he could control, his mindset and his actions. He said, "I never lost faith in the end of the story. I never doubted not only that I would get out, but also that I would prevail in the end and turn the experience into the defining event of my life." That's the power of the dichotomy of control. It's not just about surviving life's storms, it's about thriving in spite of them. It's about turning every setback into a setup for a comeback. It's about recognizing that while we may not control the world, we control how we navigate through it. By internalizing this wisdom, we build an unshakable foundation. We develop an iron mind, unyielding in the face of adversity. We live with integrity and purpose, guided by virtue ethics. We become self-aware, attuned to our inner strength and resilience. So, the next time you face a challenge, ask yourself, what is within my control? Focus your energy there. Accept what you cannot change. Embrace the freedom that comes with this mindset. This is not just a lesson, it's a lifelong practice. And it can transform not just your day, but your entire life. Are you ready to harness this power? To let go of what you cannot control and master what you can? This is your moment. This is the Stoic path to a profound and lasting change. Stick with me on this journey, and let's transform our lives together. If this Stoic wisdom resonates with you and you're ready to build a life of resilience and inner peace, hit that subscribe button now. You'll gain access to more transformative Stoic insights and practical tools for a life well lived. Practicing Stoic mindfulness and presence. The Stoics emphasized the importance of mindfulness and living in the present moment. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "Confine yourself to the present." This wisdom from a ruler of one of the greatest empires in history isn't just ancient advice. It's a timeless strategy for modern living. Mindfulness isn't just a buzzword, it's a transformative practice that lies at the heart of Stoic philosophy. Imagine standing on a mountaintop, taking in the vast landscape before you. Your mind is clear, focused only on the present moment. This is the power of mindfulness. It's about being fully immersed in the here and now, not lost in the regrets of the past or the anxieties of the future. When Marcus Aurelius tells us to confine ourselves to the present, he's inviting us to fully engage with life as it happens. This doesn't mean ignoring the lessons of the past or planning for the future, but rather, it means living each moment with complete awareness and intentionality. Picture this. You're in the middle of a chaotic day. Deadlines are looming, your phone is buzzing with notifications, and stress is mounting. A typical reaction might be to let anxiety take over. But what if, instead, you paused, took a deep breath, and brought your focus back to the present moment? This practice allows us to observe our thoughts and emotions without judgment. It's like watching clouds pass by in the sky. You see them, acknowledge them, but you don't become them. This detachment gives us the space to choose our responses deliberately, rather than reacting impulsively. Think of mindfulness as your inner compass, guiding you through life's turbulent seas. When you're fully present, you're not swayed by the waves of worry or distraction. You navigate with clarity and composure, making decisions that are aligned with your true self. The Stoics understood that our power lies in the present. Seneca said, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future." By cultivating mindfulness, we tap into this profound truth. We stop chasing the elusive someday and start appreciating the richness of now. Let's go deeper. Mindfulness trains us to respond rather than react. Imagine a heated argument. Your initial reaction might be to lash out. But with mindfulness, you pause. You notice the anger rising, but you don't let it control you. Instead, you choose your response with intention. This shift can diffuse conflict and build stronger, more respectful relationships. Moreover, mindfulness enhances our ability to experience joy. When we're present, we savor life's simple pleasures. A warm cup of coffee, the sound of birds singing, the smile of a loved one. These moments, often overlooked in our rush through life, become sources of profound happiness. The practice of mindfulness also fosters gratitude. When we're fully present, we become more aware of the blessings in our lives. We stop taking things for granted and start appreciating the abundance that surrounds us. So, how can we cultivate this powerful practice in our daily lives? Start small. Dedicate a few minutes each day to mindfulness. Find a quiet space, sit comfortably, and focus on your breath. Notice each inhale and exhale. If your mind wanders, gently bring it back to your breath. Over time, this practice will strengthen your ability to stay present and enhance your overall well-being. The power of perception. Our perception shapes our reality. Think about that for a moment. The Stoics, with their profound wisdom, understood that events themselves are neutral. It is our judgments, our interpretations, that bring about joy or distress. Epictetus imparted this timeless truth. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This teaching is a game changer. It puts the power back in our hands. It means that we have the ability to reframe our experiences and transform how we see the world. Imagine the freedom in knowing that your internal state doesn't have to be dictated by external events. The Stoics taught us to look at every obstacle as a chance to strengthen our character and sharpen our minds. Marcus Aurelius urged us to view challenges as raw materials for progress. He believed that the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Imagine standing at the base of a massive boulder blocking your path. At first glance, it seems like an insurmountable obstacle. But upon closer inspection, you realize that with effort, this boulder can be moved, climbed, or even broken down into useful pieces. That boulder becomes a tool for your journey, not a barrier. Think of it this way. Your perception is your superpower. When you shift from seeing problems to seeing possibilities, your entire world changes. This isn't about ignoring reality or pretending everything is fine. It's about confronting challenges head-on with a mindset that seeks solutions and growth. The story of Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor and psychiatrist, embodies the Stoic principle of perception. Despite enduring unimaginable suffering in Nazi concentration camps, Frankl found meaning and purpose in his experience by focusing on what he could control, his attitude and mindset. Frankl realized that even in the most horrific circumstances, he retained the freedom to choose his response. He observed that those who found a sense of purpose, whether through thoughts of loved ones or through a commitment to something greater than themselves, were more resilient. Frankl himself found purpose by imagining himself giving lectures after the war about the psychological lessons he learned. He visualized a future where his suffering had meaning and could help others. This mental shift transformed his perception of his situation, allowing him to endure and find hope amidst the darkest times. Now I know this example is extreme, but by adopting a Stoic perspective, we can cultivate this same resilience in our everyday lives. When faced with adversity, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this situation help me grow? These questions shift your focus from victimhood to empowerment. Remember the quote we mentioned earlier from Seneca, who said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Our minds can amplify fears and create mountains out of molehills. By practicing the Stoic art of perception, we can dismantle these imagined threats and see things as they truly are. Think about everyday annoyances, a traffic jam, a long line at the grocery store, a rude comment. These are perfect opportunities to practice the power of perception. Instead of letting these events ruin your day, view them as exercises in patience and self-control. Each annoyance is a small training ground for developing a resilient and composed mind. In modern terms, this means taking control of the narrative. You are the author of your story. When life throws you plot twists, you have the power to write the next chapter. Will it be a tale of defeat and despair, or a story of triumph and transformation? The Stoics didn't just preach this, they lived it. Their lives were filled with challenges, yet they found strength in their perception. This is not just a philosophical concept, it's a practical tool for daily life. By choosing how we interpret events, we can turn setbacks into setups for success. So, how can we harness this power in our lives? Start by practicing awareness. When you encounter a challenging situation, pause. Take a deep breath. Reflect on your initial reaction. Then, consciously choose to reframe it. Look for the lesson, the growth opportunity, the hidden benefit. Embracing impermanence and change. Heraclitus, a pre-Socratic philosopher, famously said, "There is nothing permanent except change." The Stoics wholeheartedly embraced this idea, understanding that everything in life is transient. This profound awareness helps us appreciate the present moment and remain resilient in the face of inevitable change. Change is an undeniable part of life. It's happening around us all the time, in ways big and small. The Stoics teach us to accept and even welcome this impermanence, seeing it as a natural part of the human experience. By doing so, we can reduce our anxiety and fear of the unknown. Instead of clinging to what we have or yearning for what we don't, we learn to flow with life's currents, adapting and thriving no matter what comes our way. Seneca advised us to regularly contemplate our mortality. This practice, known as memento mori, reminds us that life is fleeting and encourages us to live fully and authentically. By keeping the impermanence of life at the forefront of our minds, we can strip away the trivial and focus on what truly matters. Imagine living each day with the awareness that it could be your last. This isn't about fostering fear or morbidity. It's about enhancing our appreciation for life. When we accept that everything is temporary, we begin to cherish the moments we have. We let go of petty grievances and focus on the joy and beauty in the present. This clarity allows us to live with greater intention and purpose. Consider the words of Marcus Aurelius, who wrote extensively about the fleeting nature of life in his meditations. He encouraged us to view each day as a gift and to live it as if it were our last. This mindset fosters a sense of urgency and gratitude, pushing us to make the most of our time and to engage deeply with our lives and the people in them. One powerful exercise in embracing impermanence is to periodically reflect on the things and people we often take for granted. Ask yourself, if I knew I had limited time left with this person or in this situation, how would I act differently? This simple shift in perspective can transform our relationships and our daily interactions, infusing them with more love, patience, and appreciation. Another key aspect of embracing change is adaptability. The Stoics believe that flexibility in the face of change is a crucial skill for living a good life. By expecting and accepting change, we become more resilient and less prone to suffering. Imagine a tree in a storm. A rigid tree might snap under the pressure of strong winds, but a flexible tree bends and sways, surviving the storm intact. We too can adopt this flexibility in our lives. When faced with unexpected changes or challenges, instead of resisting, we can adapt and find new ways to thrive, virtue as the highest good. For the Stoics, living virtuously was the ultimate goal. Virtue, in Stoic philosophy, consists of 4 cardinal qualities: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. By cultivating these virtues, we align ourselves with our highest potential and contribute to the greater good. Wisdom is the ability to discern what is truly valuable in life. It involves understanding the nature of the world and our place in it. For the Stoics, wisdom is not just theoretical knowledge, but practical insight that guides our actions. It helps us to differentiate between what is within our control and what is not, allowing us to focus our energy on things that truly matter. Marcus Aurelius, in his meditations, often reflects on the transient nature of life and the importance of rational judgment in navigating it. Courage enables us to face challenges and adversities with bravery and resilience. It's about standing firm in our principles, even in the face of fear, pain, or uncertainty. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to act rightly despite it. Seneca, in his letters and essays, emphasized the importance of facing life's trials head-on and using them as opportunities to develop inner strength. justice ensures that we treat others fairly and with respect. It is about recognizing the interconnectedness of humanity and acting with integrity and fairness. For the Stoics, justice goes beyond legal definitions. It is a moral duty to treat others with kindness and equity. Epictetus, in his discourses, often speaks about the importance of fulfilling our roles in society justly and compassionately. Temperance guides us in practicing moderation and self-control. It involves regulating our desires and impulses to maintain balance and harmony in our lives. Temperance helps us avoid excesses and live a life of simplicity and contentment. The Stoics believe that by exercising temperance, we can maintain a clear mind and a healthy body, both essential for a virtuous life. Together, these virtues form the foundation of a fulfilling and meaningful life. By integrating wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance into our daily actions, we not only enhance our personal well-being, but also contribute positively to the world around us. Living virtuously, according to the Stoics, is the path to true happiness. This happiness, or eudaimonia, is not about fleeting pleasures, but a deep, enduring sense of well-being that arises from living in accordance with our true nature and highest values. Amor fati, love of fate. Amor fati, or the love of fate, is the Stoic practice of embracing everything that happens, including suffering and loss. Although this concept was later popularized by the philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche, it has deep roots in Stoic philosophy. By loving our fate, we accept the unfolding of events with grace and resilience. Amor fati does not mean passively enduring misfortune, but rather actively engaging with life as it is. By embracing our circumstances, we find meaning and growth in every experience, no matter how challenging. The idea of amor fati is deeply embedded in Stoic philosophy. The Stoics believe that everything happens according to a rational order, and that our task is to align our will with this order. By doing so, we cultivate a sense of peace and acceptance. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic emperor, often reflected on this idea in his meditations, urging himself to love the fate that is destined for you and find joy in it. To practice amor fati means to embrace life in its entirety. This includes not only the good moments, but also the hardships and trials. It's about understanding that every experience, no matter how difficult, is an opportunity for growth and self-improvement. When we accept our fate, we stop resisting the flow of life and begin to work with it, finding strength and wisdom in every situation. Imagine facing a significant setback, such as a severe health diagnosis or financial ruin. The initial reaction might be devastation or intense despair. Acknowledge those feelings. They are valid and human. It's natural to feel that way when life deals such heavy blows. However, by practicing amor fati, we can gradually shift our perspective to see these events as necessary parts of our journey, challenges that can ultimately help us grow stronger and wiser. Friedrich Nietzsche, a 19th century philosopher, was greatly influenced by Stoic ideas. He adopted the concept of amor fati, seeing it as a way to affirm life in all its aspects. Nietzsche wrote, "My formula for greatness in a human being is amor fati, that one wants nothing to be different, not forward, not backward, not in all eternity, not merely bear what is necessary, still less conceal it, but love it." For Nietzsche, loving one's fate was an expression of strength and vitality, an affirmation of life in its entirety. He saw it as a powerful way to overcome nihilism and find meaning and purpose in existence. To apply amor fati in our lives, we can start by practicing gratitude for all our experiences, even the difficult ones. We can remind ourselves that every challenge is an opportunity to learn and grow. When faced with adversity, we can ask ourselves, how can I use this experience to become a better person? What lessons can I learn from this? Another practical exercise is to reflect on past experiences that seemed negative at the time, but later proved to be valuable. This reflection helps reinforce the idea that every event, no matter how challenging, has the potential to contribute to our growth and well-being. Applying Stoicism in daily life. Now that we've explored the core teachings of Stoicism, let's discuss how to apply them in our daily lives. Incorporating Stoic principles into our routines can help us navigate challenges with resilience, find deeper meaning, and cultivate inner peace. 1. Daily reflection. Take time each day to reflect on your thoughts and actions. What went well? What could be improved? This practice, inspired by Marcus Aurelius, helps us grow and learn continuously. Marcus Aurelius would often journal his reflections, which allowed him to stay aligned with his values and principles. By reflecting daily, we can maintain self-awareness and strive for personal excellence. Spend a few minutes each evening writing down your thoughts. Reflect on the day's events, your reactions, and what you can learn from them. This practice not only fosters growth, but also provides clarity and focus. 2. Negative visualization. Imagine potential challenges and setbacks. This Stoic exercise, called premeditatio malorum, prepares us to face difficulties with resilience and composure. By visualizing worst-case scenarios, we can reduce their emotional impact and approach problems more calmly and rationally. Regularly set aside time to contemplate possible adversities in your life. Visualize how you would respond and what you can do to mitigate these situations. This exercise strengthens mental fortitude and equips you to handle unexpected challenges. 3. Gratitude. Regularly express gratitude for what you have. This practice shifts our focus from what we lack to the abundance in our lives, fostering contentment and joy. Seneca emphasized the importance of appreciating the present and finding joy in simple pleasures. Start a gratitude journal. Each day, write down 3 things you are grateful for. This habit can significantly enhance your overall well-being and shift your mindset towards positivity. 4. Service to others. Engage in acts of kindness and service. By contributing to the well-being of others, we cultivate a sense of connection and purpose. The Stoics believed in the interconnectedness of humanity, and that serving others is a fundamental aspect of living a virtuous life. Look for opportunities to help those around you, whether through volunteering, offering support to friends and family, or simply performing small acts of kindness. These actions not only benefit others, but also enrich your own life. 5. Mindful breathing. Practice mindful breathing to stay grounded and present. This simple technique helps us manage stress and respond to situations more calmly. Epictetus advised focusing on the present moment and maintaining control over our own responses. Whenever you feel stressed or overwhelmed, take a few moments to focus on your breath. Breathe in deeply through your nose, hold for a few seconds, and exhale slowly through your mouth. This practice can quickly bring a sense of calm and clarity. Now that we've mastered the art of controlling our reactions, it's time to delve into another crucial Stoic lesson: knowing when to break the silence. Is silence always golden? The Stoics have a surprising answer. Find out in our next video, where we'll explore why speaking up can be a virtue and how to do it with wisdom and courage.